Hey, Thomas, if you got any questions, just let me know in the chat, or you can unmute yourself or whatever. Thomas, did you have any questions for me?
At the moment, I'm just here to get all the good energy and get my ass to start moving in the right direction.
Awesome.
Mike, I have a question. Getting back involved in this, where for the course creation, like we're using a new template called Skool now, correct?
Yeah.
And is it a lot more? Is it more user friendly, interactive in regards to getting that set up?
Yeah, well, Skool's got a lot of different features to it that's really awesome. So the guy that created it was my mentor, and he basically taught consulting and course creation and things like that. And when you do stuff like this, where you're basically creating information products or you're creating training that you would give to somebody, whether it's training your team or even, it doesn't even matter if you're a brick and mortar and you're training, not even training, if you're trying to get customers to buy your service or your products, it doesn't matter, because you can get a free group, get people into the group. And I'll break this down. It's actually a really good question. So Skool, just to give the big overview of it real quick, it has a built-in calendar. So whenever we do these calls like this, you can go to the calendar and you can click on it and you can click Zoom and boom, there you go. So that can be pre-programmed. Before Skool, you had to have like a private Facebook group, and then you'd have to have like some kind of service that would make sure that the call got sent out properly. And then you'd have to have like either ClickFunnels or Kajabi or, Teachable or all these other services. And you're basically cutting and pasting and like, puzzle piecing all these things together. And now it's just boom, one thing. It's got a private community. So that replaces the Facebook groups, and it's not distracted, and you're not on Facebook. It's perfect. It's gamified already. So people can gain basically access by how much they interact with the group. So that's a new feature. Number two, you can just put your course platform right there. Your course and classroom and everything is right there on the actual platform. Third, you've got basically your customer service, your calendar, your Q&A, all of that. And then number four, which is what I really like about it, is you can use this as a tool to actually grow and convert customers. So some people use funnels. I love funnels. Funnels work absolutely 100%. But this is like a new way to do a funnel. So you can get people to join your free group, and they're not on Facebook distracted by all the malarkey and all that crap. They can get in there, and then you can start providing value in your group. Whereas like what we do and what a lot of people do is they will actually get people into a email list, right? Into a funnel. And then they will follow up with emails providing a bunch of value. Now, I still like that way personally myself, but this way works too. And you can have it so that when somebody joins your free group, you can have it connected to Zapier. And what will happen is Zapier will connect to, say, ActiveCampaign. So when somebody does join the group for free, they have to answer a question to get into the group, which is, what is your email? And when they provide that email, Zapier recognizes that and then goes over and updates or creates a contact over at ActiveCampaign. So it builds your email list, which then in turn could activate an automation on top of it. So I'm putting together something cleaner where it's like one movement where you're going to have somebody in a group where you're dripping value on them and they can communicate. Here's the difference with using the groups versus just an email list. I mean, it's quite obvious, right? So with just an email list, the potential prospect or the customers just on an email list getting dripped value, right? But what's nice when you go to the fair is when you're standing in line to get on that cool ride, you could talk to the guy beside you that's doing that and that maybe already rode it. He's telling you how cool the ride is, and it makes you even more excited to get on the ride. So with having a group, they're going to join the group. They can interact with other people that want the same thing that you want or have been there or whatever. And they go on an email list to get dripped. So it's adding an element of community interaction on top of just having an email list. So that's what's so cool about Skool. You can charge people to get in it. I'm making affiliate commissions from it as well. So when somebody joins, they're like, oh, I want to use that platform too, because they see the value in it. And before I know it, I'm getting paid for them using the group as well. So Skool is incredible, man. Like, I think it's the way to go. If you're going to sell coaching, consulting, or if you just want to grow even a brick and mortar service business like Thomas, like what you've got. Okay, you can, or not what you've got there with that. I know you've got one of those, but you've also got your martial arts platform as well. And I mean, it's beautiful this way, right? People can join a community, learn about it, see what's going on. They also go onto your email list, and there's this element of community and learning what to do. And you can put free courses back there that they can go through and experience as they're going through. So, you know, it's all about providing that value and making sure that the customer is just completely inundated with why you're valuable.
So you have people who haven't gotten the course come and sign up for the group, and then the goal is to convert them from the material that you send.
Yeah, so you just treat it like an email list. The difference is they can interact with other people on the list. And you can create courses. So, like, which you can send out a course in an email, be like, hey, join this course and go through this course. And it's like a free course where they get, you know, top level, or they get a, you know, you basically help them at a sub level before they get into the big dog. But it's also, they can communicate with other people. I think that that's the killer thing is, like, right now, you know, we have tens of thousands of people on an email list, but they can't interact with each other. But they all want the same thing because that's why they're there.
Right. I see.
So I think it's a really powerful tool that way.
And have you found success with those people interacting with each other, or is that kind of growing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have enough results with it yet to say yay or nay, but I do know that the people that are doing that are having wild results. Like, it's very awesome. And at the end of the day, what's different between just having an email list and that is the interactability of the community, right? So, you know, on the email list, they can't necessarily ask questions in an open format, whereas they can in the group. So just imagine they're just joining this group like they would join a Facebook group, but the difference is they're actually able to interact, get on a course. They can get content as they actually want it and as it gets dripped out, but they're not feeling like it's, oh, I'm opting into a funnel or something like that. They're like, oh, I'm joining a group to learn about X, whatever X may be, and all the while they're actually getting added to an email list, and they're going to get dripped on because you'll have automated emails going out. And then at the same time, this is why I call what we have now the customer conversion flywheel, because when you do one action, which would be like, let's say you created a video, right? Like I just got done before we jumped on this call. I created a long form video. So I filmed in horizontal with my camera and my little shirt mic thing. And I had a format. I was like, okay. And I just sat down prior to my long form content, and I just created some cue cards. So I have 5 hybrid Zooms, or 5 Zooms that we go through. It's like a hybrid implementation program with this new program. So here's what the 5 Zooms are. On the back of them, I wrote little notes for myself. So while I'm holding it up, I'm like, oh, okay, there's my little note. And then I added these other pieces on these really high-tech virtual cards that I got here. These are very expensive. They're very high-tech. They take a lot of training. But I do that, and then I just shoot the video. And this video was 17 minutes long, probably after edits, closer to 15 minutes. And then that will go out on YouTube. I will take that video, chop it up into a bunch of pieces, take the little tidbits out of it, 30 seconds to a minute, and those become my short form content that go out on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. I will also take that long form video that is getting uploaded to YouTube. I will also take that and add it to the end of my automation string of all the things that go out in an automated email. If you were using the new Skool group platform, you would then add that video to the Skool group main feed inside of the group, and you could even add it to one of the course sections or whatever. So I also like about Skool, the one thing I didn't mention was you can have your content drip out over time, okay, which isn't nothing, fantastically new, but it's nice. But you can also have courses unlock based off their interaction in the group. Anytime you can get anybody to start interacting, like you could just come watch me play. I don't play tennis, but if I did, you could come watch me just play tennis, right? But what if you started interacting with this? Maybe hit a ball once in a while. The likelihood, if we had 100 people doing that, there would be a very strong for surety, that's a new word, that people are certainty that people out of that 100, several of them probably would get involved with tennis and maybe play it on their own or want to play it, right? So it's like when you can get somebody to interact with you inside of your groups, it changes everything. And then the whole exhaust that comes off of all of that is you have learned so much about your marketplace. You are getting just completely educated about every video you'll ever need to do ever. You'll know exactly what the pains, the frustrations, the desires, the roadblocks, the elements that you need to know so that when you do a video, you're like, hey, have you ever felt like this trying to do this? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you how we fix that. So you have that forever. And so I think that that's what's so important is, you hear people talk about in content all the time. Oh, you got to know your market. You got to know their, who's your avatar, the pains and the desires and the yada, yada. Well, this thing is basically a breeding ground of that. And you just get to hear them. When you hear two potential customers conversating amongst each other about what they're dealing with, I mean, what else do you want?
It's powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think the flywheel aspect though is this: you create one video and it goes into your email automated follow-ups. It goes into your group as more content. It goes on to short form platforms. It goes on to long form platforms. So it's like our main quote at our company is how to get more customers with less. With less meaning less energy, less time, less money, less effort, whatever, right? Because if you can get more customers by doing less, that extra that you have now can go into creating a better product, creating a better service, creating a better, team, whatever, right? Which is ultimately the product or service. So it's great that you can take one action and then through the use of automation, you can buy your time back. And I think people are still very, very uninformed on this. I mean, it's been around for a while, but so has diets, so is weight loss, and I'm still fat. So yeah, Thomas, what's going on with you? Where are you at in the process?
Where I'm in the process?
Yeah.
Process of being pissed off at myself. That's where I am.
Well, there's a line outside the door. Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, what do you feel like is it like, what do you feel like stops you from, creating the video or whatever?
That's the answer I'm looking for. I created few, then I delete them. I don't like them, then I'll go through the process again. So yeah.
Do you feel like you don't like them because of the way you look, the way you sound, what you said? Like, what's the main reason you don't like them?
It's going back to even this answer. Like, whatever I do, I think they should look different, and how they should look, I don't have that answer too. So yeah, it's like I need some good psychologist or psychiatrist to smack me around a little bit to continue. But that's.
Well, I mean, having awareness of like what the real answer to that question is. Yeah, I think you know, what it is like, there's probably not too many, well, it's not a probably thing. There's not many people in your line of work, especially in your particular tight niche of what you do, but there's nobody doing it. So you doing it in a shitty way is still 1,000 times better than the people that are not even doing it at all.
Yeah,
And
that's the hardest pill to swallow for me. Because then, that is a good description, doing them in shit way and then putting them into the world in a shitty way. Yes.
Well, you're just going to be shitty until you're not so shitty, until you're not so shitty, until you're basically like good. Like if I go back to my YouTube channel, I just want to do mass delete. Like I feel that way today, right now. Like when I go to look at my YouTube channel, I'm like, what is wrong with you? And, but the thing is like, it's like you can't get there any other way, right? Yeah. And you know, to me, I think that what curbs all that weirdo stuff that you go through, that we all go through, is just having an outline of what I'm going to say. And I just always think about the most simplest way to do it, which is PAS, right? Problem, agitate, solve. Hey, are you dealing with this? And does it, whenever you try to go fix this, does it feel this way? And you agitate, like, does your back hurt? And every time you go to put your shoes on, you're like, oh, or you get out of bed and you're like, oh, and like you every day, you're like, what in the, listen, I get that. And so that's why I created this XYZ thing. And let me show you how it works. That's it. Period. Forever. And then the way you change everything that you're doing is simply just how you start out the problem. So it's like, have you ever, or the other day I seen a guy, or most people, when they have this problem, here's what they do. Or there's 3 things that I found that people are really dealing with in a bad or a good way. And that's why I created all these little content prompts, because I was like, I've got to have something to hold on to that is going to allow me, even if I look stupid, sound ridiculous, or it doesn't matter. Like I needed something that no matter what was wrong with me, it would still come out decent. So that's why I created these like content prompts right here, right? It's like you can ask your market innovative questions. Hey guys, if your back is hurting, what are you doing right now to try to fix it that is not working? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, while we're here, let me share something with you that I found that's been working for me. And get away from trying to be the expert and just be enthusiastic, right? Just be enthusiastic. You never have to be the expert. Just be enthusiastic about how you solve the problem, and just always share what you already did. You don't have to be like, you need to do this. That is wrong. I'm just going to say that is wrong, right? Nobody needs to do anything, but you can say, hey, I want to share with you what I found out about how to not have a sore back in the morning. So it's just like people say all the time, well, I don't know what to talk about. Well, it's probably because you're not doing anything.
Uh-huh.
If you're not doing it, of course you don't have anything to talk about. So why don't you just talk about what you did yesterday? I had a buddy come to me, and I thought he was joking with me. I hadn't seen this guy. I went to school with him, known him my whole life since like kindergarten. And he wanted to stay at my place this weekend because he was going to this. He had hired a coach to help him grow his mushroom business, like selling mushrooms to restaurants and chefs and all this stuff. He grows all the different kind of reishi, shiitake, and all these cordyceps. So he's growing these mushrooms. I thought he was joking with me because this guy's never done anything like this in his life. And he's like, yeah, I started this business called Shroom Mates and all this stuff. And we were talking, well, he was here in my office with me this weekend, and he was talking to me about, I just don't know how to market this thing and everything. I was like, dude, you know what would make the mushrooms really like awesome and delicious and valuable? Show me how they became a mushroom. Just show me your process from a bag of whatever they call a substrate, spores, whatever, to these awesome looking, crazy cool mushrooms that he has. Like he sold like 13 pounds of them the other day or something. That all you have to do is show me. Just show me. So that's, I've got that one on here. Just demonstrate. So these are the, again, if this is some, I know this is pretty high tech, even the coffee stain up here, if you can see that, it's just part of this this is a new app, paper and pen. And then frequently asked questions about X. So, hey guys, I was on the internet the other day and I was trying to buy, a pair of shoes, and I ended up on a video on YouTube, and then I was down this rabbit hole. But while I was doing that, so I just created a story, a real one. I come across a video, and this guy was talking about this martial art and how it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. Okay. And, then I look down further in the comments, they're on a story with you. You're actually doing it with me right now. You're like, what's he going to say next? And then you say, I found this question about this thing that you do, and I want to just set the story straight, or I want to share with you how I figured out how to actually solve that. So frequently ask questions about X, ask your market about things. This one here is, you could just use number 3 the rest of your life and be fine. Contend, happy or sad, and why. The other day, Bill and Sally on this podcast were talking about this, and let me tell you why I don't agree with that and why. Okay. Or I heard these guys the other day on Joe Rogan, and here's what's cool. When you say like things like other people that are popular in your video, the search engine goes, huh? And then it starts bringing it up. So I like to just go find, there's a guy right now. What's his name? He's Russell Brand. He's an actor, crazy guy. He's like from the UK. You know what I'm talking about? Dude's channel is just blowing up. Like, what's he do every day? He goes and grabs a headline out of the universe, and he's like, can you believe what Pfizer's doing today? Well, Pfizer, it's like popping anything that's going on. And then he gets on it and he like just shares the thing about it and why he agrees or disagrees with it. So forever and always, you've got content now, and people are going to go, okay, this is really cool. And when you make it around what it is that you do, that's where everything changes, right? That's when people are like, oh, and then they look in your bio, they look in your everywhere, the descriptions, because you would always put a link back to your website or this group or whatever so that you can capture that attention. People get tons of attention, but they don't capture it. They just rely on these platforms to be their data bank or their list until I remember Brennan Burchard when I was first coming up in this thing. He was just he was spending dollars and just blowing money, growing his list on Facebook. And then all of a sudden, Facebook's like, we don't care if you have 50 million followers. Unless you pay us, nobody's going to see your stuff that you post. And he was just going off. But the smart thing about him is it wasn't like end all, because he was building an email list too, right? But that's the key. A lot of these people, they're not building an email list, and then the algorithms change and their whole life just goes out the window overnight. Okay. That's a true story too, right? Like YouTube would or Google would change their algorithms. People would go, I know personally a guy that went from 60 G's a month to zilch because of an algorithm change. So get attention because money follows it, but then capture the attention. Okay. So demonstrate, we got that. Us versus them. Here's what we do. Here's what other people do. And this is the difference. Apple did this, right? Apple's like, the whole series, you can go on YouTube and look Apple versus PC commercials. Apple versus PC commercials. And they'd have a guy dressed all nerdy in a PC. He was the PC. And they had this hip, young artist person, their ideal customer, as the Mac. And then they would do these funny little things that were like 30 seconds long. It made the company a ton of money. So us versus them. Why we do it this way, why we use these pads, why we use this environment, why we use this technique, why we do it this way, and other people do it this way, and here's why I don't agree. If you can always throw in and why, it just makes it that much more concrete. Does that make sense? Interview. You can interview somebody or they can interview you, period, right? Have somebody interview you. Thomas, if I had my equipment with me right now, this, I would be able to go right there and sit down with you and be like, why in the hell do you do this? You could talk about it. Boom, content. You get what I'm saying? Hey, why do you teach this way? Boom, content. If you suck at making content, just interview yourself. I'm serious. Figure out questions that you would want somebody to ask you because you could answer them, and then do this. I did this the other day. I'm about ready to launch a bunch of them because I think it's hilarious. I got this. I found this this microphone here. It's like a fancy podcast looking microphone. It's like $20 on Amazon.
Yeah.
I set it down like this, and I'm talking to it, and I'm acting like there's somebody across from me over here, and I'm like, no. The reason I'm doing this is because of this and that and the other thing. And because it seems like I'm on a podcast, people listen differently. It's like people learn more eavesdropping on someone else. I watch these shows in the evenings sometimes with my girlfriend when we're unwinding and stuff. And it's like these love shows like Love is Blind or this Love Island and all these different things. And they'll sit down and they never have the person they're talking to look at the camera. They're always like looking over here. They're like, yeah, I can't even believe it. I got over to the place and, they spilled a drink on my friend. And so he went and got in a fight with them. I don't even know. And it's like, that's it. So that's why I'm saying you can make it so hard. If you just set your phone up, don't even look at the phone. Just act like you're talking to somebody. A friend of mine does video edits for like a lot of these big content creators. And he said that like half of them, okay, you would think that they're in a stadium talking to millions of people and they're being interviewed by the top place. He goes, half of them, these are big people, millions of followers. They're sitting in a room that looks like it's full of people and they're talking to the freaking wall. It's kind of like the violinist, right? The great violinist. You could put the world's best violinist in a subway with rats running around and a bunch of raggedy clothes, and people will throw dollars or nothing or spit on them. You take the same person, throw them in a tuxedo in a concert hall that's the biggest one in the world, and people are throwing their underwear at them, right? And roses and money, and it's positioning. So you could sit in your martial arts school and act like there's 500 students in front of you asking you questions. Okay, so this last one I think is fun, and I think it's really easy. Micro or macro tour. So micro tour. Here's what I put in my gym bag on the way to class so that I can do X, whatever that outcome is, right? So the other day I was going to class, and I forgot my whatever. So I'm telling a story because stories sell, facts smell. Okay, nobody cares how the drill was made. Nobody cares about how the RPMs and all that crap are. Nobody cares about that. They just need a hole. And you can do even better if you could talk about what the hole is for. The reason he needed a hole is because his daughter actually created a painting for him at school, and he wanted to hang it up in his office. That's how you sell a drill. Have you ever come home and your daughter, she's holding that painting up and she's so happy to give it to you, and you're like, well, I want to show her how grateful I am, so I want to put it somewhere that I know she's going to see it, and then you go to do that and you realize you need a drill? That's how you sell a drill. Micro tour. What do I need to do something in a micro way? What's in your bag? What's in your desk? What's in your notebook? Give us a tour of that. And why? Macro tour. Here's our facility. Here's the bags. Here's this part. This is where we do this. Here's the front of it. Here's the back of it. Here's behind the scenes. This is what I do getting ready. All of that stuff is incredible content, because what does it do? It shows the value of what you do. And always, if you can, with any of these, why? So it's simple with content. How did you come up with what you're talking about right now? And what are you talking about? And why are you talking about it? you'll have incredible content, and just be your freaking self. You don't have to act like anything. The way I'm acting right now is the way I act all the time. Unless I'm tired, then I'll act like this, but tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then anytime you can add urgency, scarcity, or call to action, you should. Matter of fact, every time you leave out one of these elements down here, you have a lesser chance of getting somebody to take action, period. Urgency is time. Scarcity is quantity. And then call to action, like clear call to action. Do not make me have to do detective work to figure out how to go buy the damn thing. Like when you're trying to catch a mouse, you don't hide it where the mouse isn't at and then make it really difficult with an obstacle course to go get to the cheese. You figure out where that son of a gun is like trafficking every day, and you put it right on the path with a big juicy chunk of shiny cheese, right? Like, that's all you got to do with your stuff. The biggest problem in every single business on planet Earth, mine included, is people don't know it exists.
Yeah.
That's it. So when it comes to creating that content, when it comes to doing that stuff, that's it, man. Turn the damn phone on, press record, and follow that format. Follow one of those formats. Here, I'll put it. I don't know if you can screenshot it, take a picture, whatever. Is it backwards to everybody?
Yeah, we're gonna get it from your recordings. Yes.
Yeah. I'll put a picture of it in the group.
Okay.
Does that help?
I know it helps. It helps. Yeah,
We just got to get you to do it now.
that's right.
You're going to do it. You know, it really is that simple. I mean, I hate to say, you know, like, oh yeah, that's real simple, but honestly, it is. Because if I came there right now, Thomas, I know it for a damn fact. If I came there right now, walked in your building right now, and you were sitting there at your desk or whatever, and I was like, hey man, why do you do this? You would just go off, right? I mean, that's all you're doing. I think when we think about creating content in the context that, oh, I got to do it this certain way because I'm trying to do it for my business, is exactly where we make the first failure.
Uh-huh.
How about instead, just care about your people? That's it. Do this because you just care about your people, which are your potential, your market. You care about the people that care about you, right? That care about learning what it is that you're going to teach them, that have the problem that you can solve, that are as crazy about it or in the idea of becoming crazy about it as you are. And I love this quote I got in front of my desk right here. It's just sitting in front of me every single day. Number one, I've got my closer format on here. Let me see. So this closer format is every time I'm on a call, I used to have this big, long sales script. Now I just have this thing that says closer. I got this from Alex Hermosi. Awesome. I got this next one where it says fast, cheap, and good. So when you're talking to somebody and you want to close them and they're like, oh, I don't know, be like, listen, there's three things that can happen here and you only get to pick two of them. You can have it fast, you can have it cheap, or you can have it good. Pick two of them. If you want it fast and cheap, then it probably won't be good. If you want it cheap and good, then it probably won't be fast. If you want it fast and good, then it probably won't be cheap. So that was, I like that one because it's the truth. And then this other one that I've got highlighted down here, it says the goal of the winner is to commit to the activities and to divorce the outcome. Just marry the activity. Every day now, am just like, if I don't want to die from suffocation, I have to put out a piece of content every day on the platforms, whether it's a 30-second video or a 30-minute video. Come hell or high water, I've got to put something out. And it gets easier every day. It's like, and then you just start, I don't know. I just enjoy that every day I'm leaving some sort of something behind so that if I get struck by lightning here in the next 30 minutes, somewhere, some way, somehow out there, I've left something behind that can help somebody save some time, energy, money, heartache, pain, whatever. So that in and of itself is enough for me. But what's wild is since I've been doing that, my business has like 10x'd.
Good. Good.
It's crazy. I've done 0 advertising this year. I shut off all my ads, paid ads. No retargeting ads, which I love. No cold ads, which I love. I was like, we're going to test it this year. I'm like, can I make free content pay me the same? It's blowing it away. So, did you see the video, Thomas, I put out about how I do like this thing? Sorry for all this high tech stuff. I know you guys get, but have you seen the one where I record top down on my phone, how I put out short form content? I literally like go through it. You don't know? It's in the group. If you go into the Skool group up to the very top to the search bar and just type in short form content, you'll go right to it. It's a video that I made. It's a YouTube video. And I show because it's so simple to do. And I feel like I was just overly repeating myself on how to do it. So there's a video in there on how to do that. It's been helpful. Another high tech, delegate to technology. This is another one. Think about it. I'm just going to delegate this to technology. I'm going to create a video of everything that I want everybody to know about what I do. And then I'm going to delegate that to technology. I'm just going to give it to the technology and let them put it out all over the place and let people look at it and all that stuff.
Okay. Now, are you putting it individually on every platform, or you have it for sure? You have it fully automated, and it just does it for you. Yes.
Yeah. So the process I do, and that's this thing here. Okay.
Oh, it's right there. Okay.
Yeah. So I just on my phone vertically, I just record a video raw. Now, this is for short form content. So I want you to think about short form and long form like this. Okay. Well, you can think about it however you'd like. This is what works for me. The short form content is the breadcrumbs. The long form content is the loaf. And in the loaf, they end up finding my funnel and my products and services. It's jam-filled loaf of bread, right? The jam is my products and services that I sell. So breadcrumbs, take them to the loaf. They're chewing on the loaf. Eventually, they bite into the jam. They go, damn, this is good. Everybody's happy, okay? So on short form content, I do a raw video vertical. I go to CapCut, which is a free application. That's the video that I told you to go check out because I show you exactly how to do this. CapCut is an application that allows me to put captions on it because people like that and they watch a lot of videos without sound. And then it also, you can edit it a little bit, snip the front and the back off, clean it up a little bit. It's ultra simple, okay? I don't even use 99% of the features on there. The only features I use are auto captions because I can press a button and it automatically transcribes my video and puts it in the video where I'm saying it. I mean, holy crap. And it's free. And then I cut the front and the back off, or if I say some flubs in it, I'll go in there and chop that part out. Okay. It's simple. I just click split, delete. Then once I'm done with that, I just export it. I export it and it goes onto my phone now as a raw video, but now it has captions or some music or some, the cuts. I then go to TikTok and I upload it to TikTok. I upload it to Instagram Reels. I upload it to YouTube Shorts. I email it to my list. That's for short form. Now, on the long form, I just create a video, okay? And then I put it on my computer now. And you could put this in CapCut because it will do this too, Okay. And you could just take your phone and turn it sideways instead of this way. And then you got that. You could put it into CapCut, trim, do the same thing, trim it up, do everything, export it. And then I just upload it to YouTube and I try to put a good title on it. Okay. The title, I just go look at magazine titles and I rework it with my title. If Cosmopolitan Magazine's average copywriter that makes the cover magazine copy makes over $1 million a year, I sure as hell ain't going to try to figure it out further than that. I'll just steal it from him. So that's all I do. I rework it to my deal, poof, and it works. And then some of my videos go out and they'll get 20,000 views. The next video will go out and it doesn't get a view. I don't care because I divorced the outcome. I just got married to the activities and and that's what I'm going to do. And it's fun for me. I mean, I don't know, it's like, what the hell am I doing anyway? So that's what I'm doing. And it works really well. And I hope you start doing it because there's a lot of great things that come from sharing what you've learned with others.
Mike, for the I'm in the classroom for school. When it goes to creating the course, where would you?
It's inside the Dojo Student Blueprint, like module 3 or week 3.
Okay.
But I'm redoing it. That whole school classroom back there is changing one procrastination at a time. I'm getting it all. I mean, I've got it all dialed in here. It's just, things just don't go as fast as I want them to all the time, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm just, it's like I'm just creating the content and putting it back there. But I am going to, I'm really getting that cleaned up back there. But here's the thing that's delaying it. Okay, so I can some kind of excuse for you. Okay, I'm learning so much so rapidly right now by creating content and answering questions and all of that it's like. Every time I do go to produce something for there, it's like the next day I find out a different part about it. But I've gotten to a place now where each part of my 5 steps in my little process here, it's been the same repetition now. And that's how I know that it's time to go really create the content because I'm finding repetition in each of the steps now. It's like, it's been enough that I'm seeing this pattern emerge now that's seeming to be very base principle or like first principles. So I'm excited now, to do it. I'm excited for you guys. But at the end of the day, here is the most basic thing to understand about what we do to get more customers with less. Okay. We are building a list of people that have what we want. And then step 2 is we are selling the list what they want. And step 3 is repeat. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, it's fishing. If you want to catch fish, chum the waters, short form and long
got the
form.
video on it, yeah.
Tell them, hey, fish, over here in that little door right there, if you go swim in there, I've got a bunch of free food that you really like. Email list or the group. And then once they're in the trap, the funnel, the email list, the group, you get out your hook or your harpoon and you eat. That's it. I mean, we're not killing our customers with spears and harpoons and shit, but I mean, it's like kind of like that, right? It's like once they're in there, some of them are just going to want to buy the stuff. Gotcha, brother. Sounds good. Yep.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Get that camera dialed. That lens is no joke, isn't it? I mean, it's heavy.
Well, the lens is a weapon.
Have
All right,
you
thanks, guys.
Turn that thing on? All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, are we leaving?
Hey,
are you done too, Thomas?
No, I just got a good lesson from you that, I'm the one who's got to do the job. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, out of curiosity with both of you here real quick, what do you feel like would get you to do it? Because everybody fails with this, including me.
Oh, I want to see everything at once, kind of, maybe. That's what's getting me. That's one. Two, not knowing the steps. I'll make a video, but that's where you come in, yes? And then put them on the social media, but that's where I stop right now.
Thomas, I met with Mike the other day, and some of the advice that he gave me, and like I can understand where you're coming from. First of all, we analyzed, like, there was a couple of things I just needed to do from a systems and a technology perspective, because I was like operating off of a old laptop that just so to update. But the thing that made it easy for me is to kind of realize or recognize, as Mike said, okay, what's the desired result for anybody that comes to see you? And then what's the end result? So if I came to you and I'm your client and I say to you, why is someone coming to you, first of all? And then when they come to you, what's the end result? What's the process to get them from A to B? And when he, for whatever reason, when he said it that way, it's pretty easy to kind of lay out the steps. Okay, this has to happen, and this has to happen. And each one of those steps has sort of kind of sub steps. But he said, there's your topic right there. That's what you're talking about. So it makes it really easy. Like, I know how to help people in a certain way. These are the steps that they need to follow, and just talking about those steps. So there is no, like, I think my takeaway is there is no right or wrong. Like, if this is what you believe, put it out there to help other people. That's why you do what you do. So it's just creating the process of every day. Like, I've got to create a minimum of 3 1-minute shorts. And when you look at over the course of a month, it's about 100 pieces of content. And that stuff just multiplies so quickly. And that's only if you do 3. If you do more, he recommends 3 to 5. But he said every day you got to do 3 1-minute shorts. I mean, it's a non-negotiable. It is a non-negotiable that this is what you have to do. And you got to realize, when you're putting out that much content, whatever you do on day 1, by day 30, you're going to be so much better at what you're doing. I mean, like, you'll have it down. And because you've created so much content, the likelihood of someone, they're going to watch your most recent stuff. They're not going to keep going back. So whatever, perceptions that you have of yourself right now, I mean, your skill set is going to dramatically improve over a period of time when you get used to doing this day in and day out.
Well, it's like this, Thomas, and Brett, you're spot on. And I love that. And I appreciate that. And one thing that I always think about, I was like, if I sold the Porsche 911 Turbo, which they've been making for like 50 years, if that was my only product or service, and the only way I could show people about that thing was with social media, what in the hell would I talk about for 50 years? I would break down that entire car from A to B, and I'd show them where we built it, why we built it, how we built it, when we built it, why, what we built, what it does, how it does it for you, how it makes it easier, the big engine, the cool inside, so think about what you offer, what is your Porsche, and just break down that entire thing and just do the who, what, when, where, why, how thing over it. And just then, once you've done that, let's say you've talked about everything in the who, what, when, where, why, how format. Now figure out 1,000 ways to say the who, what, when, where, why, how format, because every single time there's going to be a different kind of person listening to it. I have a guy that I'm speaking with here later today. He's like, dude, I've been following your stuff for years. I've been asking my wife to schedule this call for years. And he goes, I finally got it scheduled. He's like, I'm your biggest fan. I've watched all your videos. I've watched you change. I'm like, huh? And that's what, but it's been happening all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're an idiot. Why have you not been just posting? This biggest regret I have in my career is not like I've known about freaking this crap for probably Facebook came out when I graduated. So I've known about this shit for like 20 years and knew that's what I wanted to do and didn't like produce content every day because like I'll just run ads. Stupid. But hey, right now, I looked at it like this. I'm like, I love what I'm doing. Like I love, building Porsches or whatever. Like whatever you do, you love doing it, obviously, or you wouldn't be turning it into a business, right? So all I have to do is talk about what I love all day long. And then show people where to buy it. Like, I'm like, all right, this is easy. I can do that. I can do that. And then each one of those pieces of the process, I'm slowly finding people that can replace me in it. Because I want to look at this thing from up here more and be like, that we can tweak and make that really badass. And then I can find people that are better than me at all of it. But then we're like guiding this thing. It's like, So I think we can have fun doing what we love to do. Just got to do what the things that you love to talk about. If you don't like talking about certain parts of your business, then don't talk about it. Just talk about the part that you absolutely love. And trust the process. Because when I think about it, I'm like, if people don't know why this matters, then it doesn't matter.
Got it.
Dude, you're awesome, dude. Like you've got the freaking voice, man. You've got like an accent, you've got the look, dude, you've got the stories, you've got like all that crap. Just start putting it out there, man. And make sure that they always have a way to get to the thing that they can buy from you. Like on every platform, have a link to your website or have your phone number. I don't give a rat's. Like make sure they know there is a clear and concise way to get a hold of you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then just be the guy that talks about what you do more than anybody else. And in your world, that is going to be very easy. I promise you. Because in the martial arts arena, for a fact, I will tell you, they are not thinking this way. It's not their fault, I guess, or whatever. No. But, I know the internet's kind of a newer thing, but like it is real and we need to do it. And don't make the mistake I made. Like you can start popping that now, like heavy every day, So, well, Thomas, I hope it helped, man.
Yes, it does. And I'm on the call. Now I'm the guy when did I don't even remember when I signed up with you guys. This got to be my maybe second call on those weekly calls. Yeah. So
yeah,
one step forward. Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, I believe in you and what you've got. And I just, everybody else will too, as soon as they hear you talk about it. But I wouldn't, listen, I know it gets, you get self-conscious about this crap. I know everybody, I do. All the time, every day. I'll do it again today. I'm like, but I'm just like, you know what? Two people, a year-long study, one does one push-up a day, the other one does no push-ups a day. Who's stronger at the end of the year? It's like, I just look at it like that and just roll. Who cares? If somebody doesn't like the way I look, I'll be like, great, this wasn't a modeling deal. I was trying to share something with you. Like if my doctor that can cure my brain cancer so I don't die tomorrow has a foot growing out of his face and he's got like 3 ears on his chin, I don't care. I just hope I get to wake up tomorrow, you know, after the operation. Like, that's all he's got to do is that, you know? So like, I just kind of look at it like that. And I'm like, everybody else is that way too. They don't even care about you to begin with. They're just like, what's in it for me? And the faster you can get to that and take them on a journey and a story and like be you're going to crush it.
Okay.
So, all right, peeps, I will see you. I'll be on here. Oh no, I do want to say this. Next Monday, we won't have the call. Okay. So I won't be next Monday on the call. I'll be, my son's got a cross country thing and we got to go do all these college visits and everything. So it just ain't going to happen. So, but we'll catch up, but there's always the group. Ask questions in the group. You can send messages to me. You can send emails to me. You can do all of that stuff. And I'll get back to you. So cool.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, before you get off, will you just walk me through? Do I take the cord and just hook it up to my?
Yeah. So the same cord that you stuck it in to charge it, stick it in there and then stick the USB into your computer. And then I'll send you a video that shows you how to make that a webcam in like 10 minutes.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
You got it.
Thanks, Thomas.
All right, Thomas.
We'll
See you next time. Let me know what questions you have. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Bye.